Yay! How we doing?
Hey, good. How are you? Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Well, hello, everybody.
welcome
Welcome
back.
to our. What number is this anyway? What number podcast is it?
13.
Oh, you. How come I'm cut off on the screen here? Look at that. You cut me off. Look at
No,
this
you
guy.
don't. You never know where the middle
Ah.
is.
Here we go. There's the middle. I'll shuffle up. There you go. All right. So yeah, welcome everybody to rainy Vancouver. Got a lot of rain happening these days, so that's okay. So I hope everybody's doing well. So we should get right in and get started. So what's on the agenda there, Isaac?
What's in the
How was your
agenda?
week? How
Um,
was your?
no, very chill. Didn't do much in trading. Actually, I didn't do any trading, and I think that's good. I because it's been the market's just been sinking and keeps going down, and I don't know where the bottom is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's yeah. We always, as traders, like to want to find tops and bottoms. We always want to find the bottoms, and that to me is a disaster in the making.
Yeah, it's
When you,
impossible to time the market sometimes.
yeah, and I think new traders kind of, they kind of have that. You may have, and I have methods in my arsenal that will help me sort of confirm what I'm looking at. And I think that's part of the deal when one, oh yeah, it's really down, it's really gone down, it's got to go back up. We have the dip. And I mean, you and I have talked about that a lot about the dip, but I go, the dip to where? Don't buy the dip, right? You're not, there are ways where you can see a market is in an incredible trend, whether it's an uptrend, downtrend, and you buy those pullbacks, those dips, whatever you want to call them, because it's clearly showing you. And, that's something we can talk about another time, how we identify that. But the market right now, there's a lot of stuff going on in the terms of the economic deals. We all know what's happening. We've got a new administration that's attacking everybody with tariffs.
Yeah,
But
now it's a
Mexico,
whole mess. It's a whole mess right now.
yeah, yeah, and but that's not really, in my mind, the deal. I don't think that's the big deal because when we look at the market, I've been saying this to you before, like December ended. I said, the market's going to correct. It's going to correct, and I'm expecting a correction. I don't know when, but it's going to happen, right? And I use Meta as an example, where I lay out those sort of levels where I believe this is going to happen, right? And just so everybody knows, in technical, um, you know, analysis, when I look at charts, I have a method that I look at where I use the uh, monthly time frame, weekly time frame, and the daily for day trading. And I look at the close and open and highs and lows to set a framework for my trading for the month, for the week, for the day, so to speak. And I also use Fibonacci. And I also use my famous 50% retracement on a candle. And I think that's something you wanted to talk about. Was that? I think I remember last week you said we should go over that in a little bit more detail, the 50%. And
Right.
we could do that if you want. But, I think everybody is in this, we've got a slight, I'm going to say the word panic because media just loves to jump on negativity and loves to jump on, oh my God, what's going on? fire and brimstone, right? It sells. We're humans, and we unfortunately like bad things because we expect bad things, and we react more to bad things than to good things. Well, that's just a fact. We were, it is what it is, and even myself, I didn't trade much this week. I actually ended up breaking even. I'm actually a little like, I think something like $6 profit. So I don't really call that a win. But I basically only had three trades all week. And, it's not unusual for me to have that. But I even said to you that, we're going to just ride out the storm, just like you would ride out a storm. If you want to go fly or you want to go in a ship to the sea, if there's a storm coming, you're not going. You're waiting. You're waiting until that storm passes, and then you go, and you wait. And why, if I'm very sure that this is a correction in the market and it's not going to really matter, the tariffs will sort themselves out. They will, and everything will go on, and we'll move on, and everything will be fine. Then why am I not trading it? Well, the reason is because when you have a storm, you don't know how high the winds are going to blow. You don't know how much rain you're going to get. You don't know how much, is going to happen. So you have it's the unknown. So in this situation, we have a lot of unknowns because you get an announcement, we're doing this. And then, then the people that they're doing it to turn around and say, well, if you do that, we're doing this. Nah, 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 nah. And then the other guy goes, well, if you're doing that, then we're going to increase it to this. Nah, 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 back. Right? It's just like kindergarten, man. It's just like, and how do you trade that? You just kind of, it's a barroom brawl at the largest
Scale, yeah.
scale, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
And so get out of the way. Don't you know psychological the psychology of people as traders, and I went through this myself. If I'm a trader, then I believe that I have to be in the market.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one thing that I struggled with. I said, well, I got to get in. I got to make a trade. And, somebody said to me, many, 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 many years ago, and you probably heard this, sometimes the best trade you can have is the one you're not in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? And I like that. And you know, we have the thought pattern of risk, right? We're risking, you know, we have a risk tolerance. Say, well, I'm risking this because I want to make this, right? So you kind of say, well, can you take that risk, right? And a lot of people can, but even if you do little risk and you keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, and you get cut at the knees, cut at the knees, cut at the knees, cut at the knees. So you have loss after loss after loss after loss after loss. At some point, you're going to say, okay, stop. Right, I got to stop. This is obviously not working. Right,
Mm.
I have strategies. I have strategies that I like to use, but I'm also very careful with those strategies because this market right now is an environment that maybe my strategy doesn't work so well. So there's one thing a trader has to be, and that word is adaptable. You have to be able to adapt to the conditions of the market. That's a fact. That's what you have to do. And if you don't adapt to the conditions of the market, you're going to crash and burn. And so, how do you adapt to these conditions? Well, I don't know what's happening. I don't know where to go. I don't know which trade to take. Should I buy? Should I sell? Now, listen to those questions you've just asked yourself. You don't know what's going on. So, if you don't know, then don't do anything
Hmm.
until you know, until you see a setup and you go, oh my God, look at this. Yes, I'm ready. But wait, I need extra confirmation. Because of the environment you're in, you need to quantify, clarify, and confirm what you're seeing. The market's going to move that way. Does that make sense?
Yep.
right?
It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of time traders, they have, the standard FOMO, fear of missing out,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
They go, I should be, look how low it is. I gotta buy. I'm gonna do
It's
really well.
it's real. It's real. It's real.
It
And
is real.
yeah.
Psychology is a big thing
Yeah.
in this trading, and we all suffer from it, even myself. So how do you fix it? Well, you fix it by documenting, journaling, right? And I know people get so fed up with hearing that, oh, daily journal, oh my God, right? And yeah, and I will, you know, be honest, and I will give, to be very transparent and clear. I don't document as much as I used to, and maybe this is arrogant, but I don't feel I need to. However, I recognize that I do make mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
and I make a note and say, "Hey, I should have done this." And I have a little cheat sheet. I have a sheet by the side of my computer that sort of reminds me of things. So you know, maybe I don't document as much, but I still follow a cheat sheet. I still follow that, right, and still have that right there. And hey, big news is coming out. How far has the market dropped? How close are you by your target? You know, how much are you up? Maybe you should close out. What day is it? All these things that I put in place for my trading style,
Mm-hmm.
for the way I want to trade, my rules, I'm reminded of. So when I look at the market and I go against it, that's my own fault, right? I didn't obey my own rules. So how do we get to that sheet? You get to that sheet by documenting your journey. Your documentation of a journey, right, will, as you grow, as you go up these steps and get better, that documentation will remind you the mistakes you have made prior and try and eliminate those mistakes going forward. A little bit like, should I have a stop loss? Right? How should I? The one big thing I'm always going to come to is this. Professional traders, I'm talking bank traders, hedge fund traders, the big guys, right? And I've talked to many, many of them. And number one question that I would always ask, what's the most important thing? You know, and it's really difficult that, well, there isn't just one, there's many ones, and I've realized that. But the common one that comes out all the time, something they would say, well, here's my top three, here's my top five, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in that three or five, guaranteed, right, I will get this one all the time. So that's why I call. Now, it's not a very large, you know,
List.
list of people I've talked to. I think it's only about 11, right? So it's not big, right? But I realize this, and the answer is protect your account. Capital preservation is always on their list. Some have it number one, some have it number three, number two, but top five for sure. So when I looked at all these and I saw capital preservation, I said, shit, that's it. That's number one. And it really makes sense specifically for now. The capital preservation for a professional trader is different to the retail trader because, of course, I asked the question, well, what is capital preservation for you, right? Well, when they're in a trade, right, they hedge to protect the trade they're in,
Well,
right?
what is it?
They
That
well,
sounds to
so
me like risk management.
yeah, it is, but they're doing it specifically to preserve capital, to make sure that they don't bust into their capital. Do you understand what I mean? Right? Yeah, you could look at it as risk aversion, right? And that's what it is. But the questions of like, well, why are you hedging? Okay, to lower my risk, but for capital preservation. So it seems capital preservation is the top thing for a top trader. And I don't want to go into the maybe different reasons for each person, but this is what I've learned.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I got, and it made sense because if you don't have money to trade with, you can't trade. So let's go now to a retail trader, and it's more prevalent for a retail trader because you're not a bank.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have millions of dollars. You know, I've only met one trader that trades with a over $1 million account. That's his own money. One in my 17 years of trading or in this industry, right? So there's not a lot. So and he trades big money, and he is an ex uh, New York Stock Exchange trader. So that stands to reason, right? So anyway, I digress. Retail traders, we don't have the ability to. Well, some are lucky to have a good account, right? So you have to preserve. You have to look at that and go, well, and we look at that by the risk. So risk, capital preservation kind of go hand in hand. So I have what I call controlled risk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only going now. I can my number is 3% of my account. Your number could be 5. It's completely up to you. How do you determine it? Well, you determine it by this to say, well, if I was to lose 3%, at 3%, how long will it take me to lose my account?
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's going to be a lot of losing weeks for me to lose my account. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
30 weeks is 90%, right? So that's nearly a year. Now you would think, you would think after a while of like 10 weeks in a row losing, I'd say, oh shit, I need some more education or I need some more help. I mean, let's not keep losing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Take a step back. So now somebody could go to 5%. So how long do you need to blow your account if you're risking 5%? How many weeks? Right? So you just keep 20 weeks, I think, right? So you just keep doing this to see what you're comfortable with. Now, you may have a plan that you're adding money to your account every month. It's different for everybody. But the fact is, you need money to trade. So you've got to have that in mind. So anyway, that's what you know I believe is the most important.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Risk. Yeah, you always say control your risk.
Yeah, and that's how you that's how you preserve capital, right? By being smart with your risk, right?
All right.
So, uh,
So what do we have in mind next? We have the three pillars here. Let me show them. We kind of did a bit of the trader. Uh,
yeah, kind of we did that a little bit, didn't we? It
yeah,
kind of went into that, yeah. um, excuse me, everybody. A little frog in my throat there.
yeah.
So let's look at the news from last week because we had some inflation stuff and some things have changed a little bit in the inflation world, and everybody's wondering, oh, where are we? Are we
What's
at the
going
end
on?
here? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
let
lost
me.
track. I lost track of everything this week. I remember last week I had I had very clear what was happening because it was kind of, I don't know if because I was watching it every day, but it was also easy to understand to me. I believe it was easier last week, and then this week it's like tariffs here, tariffs there, tariffs over there, and then tariffs back, and then government shutdown, and then this, and then that, and then oh my god, I lost track of it. I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's about what I was just talking about earlier, right? It's just such in turmoil. So
Yeah,
it's a storm.
it's a
So we need
storm.
to move away. You
Yeah.
just move out and just sit back and enjoy the show. That's all, right? So let's have a look at what happened. You guys can see my Forex factory there. Can we see that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the important part we're going to look at here is Wednesday here, the core CPI. And I know the Fed's is PCE, but CPI is well. Let's read it here. I'll show you here. So, change in the price goods and service purchased by consumers, excluding food and energy, right? So, food and energy prices account for about a quarter of CPI, but they tend to be very volatile and distort the underlying trend. The Federal Open Market Committee usually pays more attention to the core data, so do traders, right? So, this is the more important one. So, why do traders care? Consumer prices account for a majority of overall inflation. Inflation is important to currency valuation because rising prices lead the central bank to raise interest rates out of respect for their inflation containment mandate. So, we know it's important. So, look at the number that came out 0.2%. So, it's a negative, it's a red. So, what does that mean? So, they were forecasting zero point 0.3, but it's at 0.2. So just so everybody understands, it's the supposed change of price in goods, which means if there's a change of price, which means it's going down, which means this is an inflationary signal that, oh, inflation is now coming back, which is what we've all been waiting for. Would you agree?
Mm, okay, I thought this was good. Like low means low inflation, but no, this means low number. It's not good.
No, which means you're correct. It's low inflation. It affects the inflation. This is what this is. We want it to come down, right? So
Oh,
this is a sign that inflation is coming down.
but
So
wait,
it is good.
it says actual greater than forecast is good for currency.
Yeah. Well, let's look. Why is inflation good for currency? That's a signal that inflation is good for currency because the economy is booming. So that's why they say that. So if you have high inflation, right, it's good for the currency because people are making more money. Now, there's a limit. The limit gets reached when inflation is too high. Remember, their mandate is to have 2%
Mm-hmm.
inflation, right? So it's at around 2.93, whatever, right? It's too high. It needs to come down. So this is now the first indication that finally it started to come down, right? And you can see all the numbers now. This is the core CPI, right? And there's others. There's PMI. There's PCE. You want all that to come down because then what we should see when we go to the grocery store, that those prices should start coming down. Which,
Yep.
if prices start coming down, right, that means as consumers, we have more money to spend. Yeah,
Nice.
right? Which is what we want.
Yeah.
We don't remember how we look at how does inflation work, supply and demand, and all that stuff. Is that,
Yep.
if the demand is high, the supply is low, we put the price up, right?
Yeah.
So, so that's the first one.
Hmm.
But there is another one because this doesn't include food and energy, which I don't like,
Is
and
it?
you'll see why.
Can you go back there?
On this one,
Yeah. It says also called CPI food and energy. So this doesn't include?
uh, CPI X is short for excluding food and energy,
Ah.
right? So
Excluding.
yeah, so you
Yeah.
see,
Okay, now it
excluding.
makes
So
sense.
they just abbreviated it, right?
Oh, I see.
So
I see.
let's look at the table. This is the core one they say, right? But let's be honest. You should include food and energy because it's the main one. So here it is, change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers. We're consumers, right? Consumer prices accounts for a majority of overall inflation. Inflation is important to currency valuation because rising prices lead the central banks to raise interest rates out of respect of their inflation containment mandate. The average price of various goods and services are sampled and then compared to the previous sampling, right? So their forecast was zero point 0.3, it came at zero point 0.2. Now, I want to add something. And you guys can check it. I'm not going to check it, right? Oh, okay, I'll check it. This is the first time since June and July of 2024 that these two are negative. And if you don't believe me, watch this. Here's June and July. See June and July 2024?
Yeah.
0.2, 0.1, right? Negative for what they forecast is going down, right? And then if we look at the other one,
July
actually from
2023.
May, yeah, there, no, 24. Here, look, see?
Yeah.
0, laser forecasted 1. Right, but for me, the most important numbers are previous. So if I look at this, if I look at this one right now at 0.2, look at what it was before, it was 0.4. So 0.4, right, to 0.2 is a 50% change, right? 0.5 to 0.2 is more than a 50% change, which to me is indicating, hey, this is good, right? And then the year on year has gotten lower too. This is, in my mind, they don't mention this too much, right? Right? Again, same thing. This is among the few non-seasonal adjusted numbers. Why traders care, consumer prices, same situation, right? But it's funny because a lot of people kind of look at this one per se, right? They look at this one. But when you look at it, say, hey, look at all the forecasts, it was lower than all the forecasts. But more importantly, it was lower than the previous month, right? You see that, right? But more importantly, it was even lower than the previous month before that, and the previous month before that. So this is where I start to say, okay, now lower the first 2 months, but the same in December and November. So, but to me, that's good. That's a good sign. But I need confirmation. Where's my confirmation coming? From Thursday, core PPI. So what is PPI? Well, PPI is change in price of finished goods and services sold by producers. Again, excluding food and energy. Same sort of idea, exactly the same. Look at the numbers. They went 0.3 minus 0.1. This is good. What was the month before? 5%. Right? So, okay, excluding. So let's do the one that includes PPI month on month. We don't have a year on year here. Look at this. Came out at 0. It was at 0.6. They forecasted 0.3. So they forecasted a 50% drop. But look, it went to 0.
Wow.
Right? And look at these numbers, right? So we haven't been at 0. Let's see. Last time we were at 0 was September. So to me, this is now, we're starting to get a little better. Now let's even go further. US here, prelim. Here, I'll show you what this. So Michigan, University of Michigan, right, level of composite index based on survey cumulus, actually graded, good for currency. There are 2 versions of the data released 14 days apart, preliminary and revised. The preliminary release is the earlier and thus tends to have the most impact, right? But still, I mean, again, it's a survey of about 420 consumers. I don't really use this because it's 420. What type of consumers were they? Were they millionaires or were they minimum wage people? I don't know.
Yeah, well, all the other things they seem like good news to me, no? Like they're like
Yes, yeah. So, and look at the number. It came at 57.9. They forecasted 63.1. Their forecast was 64.7. Which, look at the numbers here. Look at the numbers here. 70, 75, 71, 74. We're at 57.9. This is a good sign, right? Whether I don't take much notice of this is beside the point. It's confirming, it's adding to the narrative that I'm talking about, right? So here's the inflation expectations, right? We didn't get a forecast here, right? So it's interesting what this one comes in at. Actual greater than forecast is good for the country, for the currency, right? So why do traders care about this one? Expectations of future inflation can manifest into real inflation primarily because workers tend to push for higher wages when they believe prices will rise. Again, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Consumers, and they're talking about it, right? And it's like, oh, 4.9. We didn't get a forecast because there's no forecast on this, but the previous was 4.3. So it's like this is an indication where consumers expect the prices to go higher,
Mm-hmm.
right? So again, should we look at it too much? Well, again, 420 consumers. Really? Is that a good, indicator? I don't know. But this is what we got. So this is where we are. So to me, there's some movement that way. Let's look at next week. What do we got next week, right? Core retail sales. So changing total value of sales at the retail level, right? Okay, excluding automobiles, right? So it's a primary gauge of consumer spending, which accounts for a majority of overall economic activity. So this is going to be a key data for me, all right? Retail sales, right? And then we go to the U, and then we got the FOMC economic projections, FOMC statement. This is going to tell us what they're looking at for the future. This is going to tell us, are they going to lower rates? Are they going to lower the interest rates, or are they going to stay put? I
Mm.
believe they're staying put. Why? Because 1 month of change to the negative to the good to drop prices doesn't mean that it is going to drop permanently. Does that make sense? I would like 3 to 4 months of those negative numbers
Mm.
to say, yeah, we're really coming down. It's really affecting it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and the Fed does that too. I don't think they're going to jump. So we got 450 here, right? So I don't think they're going to drop it. I'll be surprised if they do. But what do I know? We'll see, and we'll deal with it when it happens, right? So that's important on Wednesday, right? And then after that, right, there really isn't anything. Well, unemployment rate maybe, right? Unemployment claims. I mean, you can see that wrong one. You can see that they've been last 2 months, right, have been
Mm-hmm.
good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, if that means that we got low unemployment, that means they're working.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do these numbers mean? Do they make sense? They make sense if you get them like that, as I said, 3 or 4 times in a row. So that's what I would be looking for. So there you go. That's what we can expect next week. So caution again. Tariffs will still be around. As I said, he's attacking the euro now. He's going after the eurozone. I think, cooler heads will start to prevail. We're going to start sorting it out, and, hopefully, anyway. So that's that. Any questions on that? Are you good?
I'm good, thanks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I do have a question that I've been waiting to ask you about the correction. What is correction? And then listen, I say this because I saw many headlines this week. We are officially in correction territory. We are now in correction mode. We are entering correction zone, and I don't know what that is. I don't know how they define that, and what does it mean. Is it something good? Is it something bad? I understand correction. Yeah, the market is completely down. I can see that, but it means correction because it's already down, that it's gonna correct the way up, or it's correction because it was very up, that it has corrected all the way down. Why did they say
Okay.
that?
Good question. So let's use a little example here. Draw up my chart here. Help you guys
You're not sharing it.
figure this out. Oh, I'm not? Oh, well, that's terrible, isn't it? What a terrible guy I am, not sharing. Let's see here. All right. Here we go. You see it now?
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm going to go back here. All right. So, let me ask you a question. How does the market move?
It moves up and down
Right.
and left to
So
right.
it so we could say that the market oscillates, right?
Yes.
It oscillates, right? But what we're trying to achieve, right, is we want some kind of growth curve that, and I'll just try and do it basic for you here. Give me one sec. I'll change this to black. And, we started down here. This is kind of our, I know an equity curve doesn't move in a straight line, kind of curves up a little bit, but I'm trying to, give you just an understanding on, you know, what this means, right? So this is a great equity curve, like nice. It's nice and steady, right? Nice and cool, really, really nice, growing nicely. Would you agree that that's a
Yeah.
nice way of growth, right?
Yes.
It goes up, it pulls back, right? It goes up, pulls back. So that's nice, making higher highs,
Lower high,
higher
higher lows.
lows,
Yes.
right? Everything's going nicely, right? All right. Then all of a sudden, you get this, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's your little dip, and then you get this. So now the equity curve, the equity line, is not steady,
Mm-hmm.
it's aggressive, right? This is
Yes.
an anomaly. The market doesn't like this, right? It likes it nice and steady, and it likes it nice. And when you get this, now it's too high. The market is too high, right? So it needs to correct itself. That's a correction. So what does that mean? Well, usually a correction can be anywhere from 40 to 50%. Now you know where my 50% comes from, right? So where could this correct from? Where could this correct out, right? Well, we have this move from here to here. So the correction could be back down to this area right here, right? So the market, right, could come back and test that low, right, which happens to be right by this. I didn't even plan it. It just worked out that way. So
Yeah.
this, steady equity curve, right? So what does that mean? Well, then that means this market has to start trailing back down, right? And sometimes it only has a little pullback and does the opposite thing. Keeps coming down, keeps coming down, keeps coming down to come back to that level. And that level could be actually the high. It doesn't have to be the low, but just to give you a rough idea, right? Or it could go even a little further. And now that is a correction. Does that make sense? Now you're back to the nice up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Does
Mm-hmm.
that make sense?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Right. So how do we look at a correction? Well, I look at levels, I look at Fibonacci, so I look at those things. I look at the market itself. This is overbought. So what's the first principle of buying?
Buy low.
Buy low. Right? That's the first principle. The stock market is made for buying. Would you agree?
Yes.
Right? It is set up there for people to invest for growth, right? But do you want to buy up here?
Mm-mm.
Or do you want to wait? Or do you want to wait for a pullback, a dip, to buy at a lower so you can buy up? What do you want to do?
You want to wait for the low.
Yeah.
You know this one. This one, just like you just drew it. It's it reminds me to meta. Like it is really
Well, let's
the.
go. Yeah. Well, I'm using the meta chart, so we're going to go to meta in a minute, and I'm going to show this in real time, in real sort of explanation, right? So we don't want to buy up here. We want to buy low. So the key is, where are we buying low? Is it here? Maybe not. This becomes, is it here? No, it's still too high.
Mhm.
This is still too high of a price. It's overbought, right? And what is the condition of the company? Is it going good? Are they doing like here? Now I'm going to start buying. But what if it breaks this trend line and starts going down further? Oh
Mhm.
well, now we've got issues of valuation of the company.
Mm.
The valuation of the company may be wrong. But now you can look at these levels down here and say, well, it's going down to here. And is that a bad thing or is it good? Well, we're just starting from the beginning again. So could this do this? Absolutely, it could do it. Absolutely. This is a big crash. Oh my God. Fire and brimstone. Oh no. You know what? What this is down here?
Mm.
This is an opportunity.
Yes.
Do you know what this is here?
What is
An
it?
opportunity. An opportunity.
Mm.
This is an opportunity to get into the market, to buy, to take out that high and let it keep going.
Mhm.
There's your correction. That's the correction.
Hmm.
So can this correct all the way down here? Yes, it can, right? Because if you look at markets, that's what they do. Let's look at Meta. Here, look at this. Up, correction, all the way down to here. Now, look at that. Did I know this? No. I just explained it to you. I just used this chart. There it is right there. Exactly what I said. Come all the way back to where it began.
Mhm.
So what is this now? This here. What is this now?
It's an opportunity.
100%. It is an opportunity. And we're on the daily. Let's go to the monthly. See if we look at this. Look at this, how it hit this monthly low here, right? But look at this growth.
Mhm.
Can you not see this kind of went up in this straight line there? Nothing does that. It needs a correction. So is the correction done? In my mind, no, it's not. What about to here? Could we come all the way back to this level right here? Yeah, we could. We could come back to here.
Mhm.
Are you happy with that? Correct. Let's look at this. I'm going to use my 50% rule, right, and 40% rule. Okay. So it's past the 30%. 236 is hitting here, right?
Mhm.
So look where my excuse me, everybody. Look where my 382 is. The 40%. I'm this right here. Could it go to there? Yeah. Where's the 50%? Could it go to there? Yeah, look, here's a nice level where it could go to. Right there. Or it could actually come all the way back to this close and open right there. If this market does that, that is a beautiful correction. Beautiful correction and a beautiful what? What is this?
Opportunity.
There you go. You got another cluster down the bottom here,
Mhm.
right? Right? Big move up, right? A little cluster and then a move. This does this need a correction here? It could possibly come all the way back down to here. And you're going, you're kidding. Well, let's go to the back to the daily. Did you ever think that this was going to come back to this level?
Well, after you explain it, yes.
Well, before I explained it, did you? I knew when I can remember when I said to you, "Oh no, I don't think it's going to do that." Look at it, and I'm not banging my chest, all right? I'm just saying there's one thing I've started to understand. In maybe from 8 years ago, I started to understand how this market works, and I really understood. Look at this: up, nice, up, nice, up, nice, overextension. You
Mhm.
see, it's not following even right from the beginning. Like, look at it. Nice, nice. This is nice and steady. Yes, nice and steady, nice and steady. Here's where we started to have the problem. But look at this. What is this? What happened
Correction.
here?
Yeah.
Thank you. Right? right back practically to where it broke out.
Yeah.
And then it started doing nice again, nice again, nice again, correction again, or pullback, right? Probably not much of a correction, but it's just following that trajectory,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, you can
So
see
up
it.
we go again, up we go again, up we go again. Oh, overextension, pullback. Now, this pullback could have been to here. But because we also now have tariffs and administration and economic woes and stuff like this, that could have affected this push down to here.
Mm-hmm.
But we still have that. Look at this. I want to do this. I want to do it properly, but I want to show this.
Yeah, I can see the lows are very nice and.
Look,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. See, look at these here, right?
Yeah.
And look at that. Come right back to that trend line.
Yeah.
Why? Look, away, 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 up. Come right back, right here. There you go. So, you know I talk about economics, I talk about the news, I talk about this stuff, but you know something, and this is a question somebody asked me. Somebody did ask me this question, and the question was, do I really need to know the news? Can I trade on a chart, doing the technicals, how you do the technicals, without using the news? The short answer is, yeah, of course you can. Of course. And this is why, look at this. I swear, everybody, I did not do this before the question was asked. But look at this trend line, this
Yeah, the
black
black.
trend line. Yeah, we're turning it black, right? Because this is the main trend line, not this one.
Mm-hmm.
This is the main one. Remember where I set that 50%,
Mm-hmm.
right? Right? Look, could this market drop right to this 50% and to this trend line? It could, but it could also break this trend line. If it's going to that 50%, look, it could go up here
Mm-hmm.
and then come back and break this trend line, break this low right here, and then go and hit that 50%. Remember I said it could, I think that's 50%. Could it go lower? Remember I said it could go lower? Yeah, it could, because it broke the trend line. The main trend line has been broken. So watch this, guys. Watch this black trend line right here, because if this black trend line gets broken, we could see a further down move. And look at these clusters I found, right? Let's just go back again to the monthly to refresh that for you. Right? Here's the 50%, and I marked this little one here, right? So I'll mark the 50 for you. 50 is here. I'll make that a little bigger. I'll make the 382 a little bigger because that's a key one too. Right? And we've got all these other ones possible. So I go back to the daily. So look where we are. So I still have the main Fibonacci on that's showing me the. Look where the 50% is.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that the 382? That's the 382. Is that the 382? Yeah, that's the 38. What happened to the 50%? Oh no, here it is right here. This one here is the 382. This one. See how it's sitting by the 382 of the main. Because I still got a Fibonacci on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the 50. So could this market go break that, hit the 382 and hit this? Yes, it could. Test these lows right here. See these lows?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a little messy, or are you starting to, or you get it?
Oh, I see. I see. I
Let me
see.
take the Fibonacci. I'll take the Fibonacci off. Let me just get rid of it. It might be messing people up there. There we go. Right. So you can see, like, if I extend this, if I let's reverse it. So if I extend that, look at these lows on here. Look at this level. It's a good level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for this market to get to this level, it's got to break this orange trend line, break this black trend line, break this first blue line, and then to hit this line. then it could bounce back up again and then come back and hit this line.
Wow.
We wait and see.
Well,
So, but we have markers now. You have markers on the chart, levels on the chart
mm-hmm.
to direct you.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm going to say this. This is where I believe the market is going. See this level right here, right? See this high right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is where I believe it could go before it comes back down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why do I say that? This is the makings of a price action pattern called a head and shoulders.
Mm.
Here's shoulder number one. Here's the head. And now it's going to make shoulder number two. Now, could this be shoulder number two? It could be, but I don't think so. I think it's going to make a little bit more of a solid run, but I could be wrong. The key is this. The key of a head and shoulders is its neckline, where it breaks the neckline. And the neckline is here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it hasn't, and look where the trend line is.
Mm-hmm.
So it breaks this blue line plus this trend line and closes, right? Now you've got a trade to the downside of this head and shoulders. Where to? Well, typically when you do a head and shoulders, you can put a Fibonacci on here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we would draw a Fibonacci from here and to the low. Let's just pretend the low, let's speculate it's just a little low, just maybe to here, right? And then again, you wait for the retracement to the 382 again or to the 236, right? So we're waiting, right? So then it forms that crown, that right shoulder. And then we break a trend line and say, yeah, it's going. Or you wait until it breaks this, and then we trade it down to here. And you just trade it down to this black line. But the target is way down here. Look, here's the target, right? If it stays within these red line zone,
Mm-hmm.
price, if it pulls back but stays in with these red levels, it's going to this level right here. And look where it is, right? We have these levels that we marked
Mm-hmm.
right by them, right? So this could do that. But with all this that I just said, the most important part is price has to break this level right here.
Mm-hmm.
So if it breaks this level right here, I has a high probability to go and break this trend line and go here. There you go. Hope that helps. But correction-wise, there it is. There's correction. This was a correction. Is it over? We'll see. If it's above here, it's going higher. If it's above this high, it'll probably push up higher, right? If it's above this high, it's probably going to this high. But right now, I believe it's going to probably break down here. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
Let's see.
But, yeah. All right. Want to look at anything else, or what
Do
do
you
we? How
mind?
we
Do you
do?
mind looking? We are 55 minutes. 56.
Okay. What do I want to look at?
I want to look at Nvidia. And this one, I was looking at it. I've been, I've been looking at it every day, many times a day, and
Okay,
I
you
think
have to share. You have to share your chart because my chart doesn't like Nvidia.
yeah. Let me share it. Do you see? Can you see?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Okay. So, and this is what happened with me. I think it was like Thursday, Friday that, I really, I started to see this bottom right here, and I thought it is the bottom, and maybe it is the bottom, but
Maybe. Yeah.
yeah, but I was like, I don't know. I think I should wait, and I said to myself, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold myself and not buy until I see confirmation on Monday. Some things I've been noticing is every Friday and every Monday, market's super bloody. Let me see this one. Where is it? Oh, let me put the daily. Where is it? Look, Monday, huge red.
Yeah.
And then let me see. Monday again. It's actually Friday, red one here, and then it
Well,
opened all the way down here. Look, Monday,
yeah.
red again. Then where's the next Monday? Monday this was green, but and then let me see. Where else? Friday, red again. I don't know. I've been noticing this weird pattern that Friday and Monday are really bad days lately. So, anyways, I'm gonna wait to see how Monday looks like. Um, if that will be my confirmation. But right now, Nvidia, I think it's been shopping. It's been doing nothing, but it came to this level right here, 104. 104, and my support was 107 because you can see it. um I defined these levels. I don't know if they're right, wrong. I thought they were like okay levels for me to watch, but I'm not the expert when it comes to technical analysis, so I want to know your thoughts.
Um, well, I think you're doing well. I think for me, when I look at it on the live stream here, without looking at any other context, that you have the top blue line above your purple trend line,
Where is it?
just above the green candle that closed.
This one?
So that blue line above there,
Yeah.
that's a key marker for me because will break the trend line, and if it breaks that, it's going to the green trend line. So that would be a key marker for me. Also there is a gap below between two green candles that comes from your yellow bottom line, your level that you marked there. There is a gap between those two green candles. Yes,
Here.
or yeah, is there a gap there?
Oh,
It looks like a gap,
a little one, yes.
a little one.
Yeah.
So where's the bottom of the first green candle? Where's the high?
Where?
Oh, I don't think so. No, I don't think there's a gap now. There. And where's the low of the other green candle? Put them together. Is there a gap? No, I don't think so. So when I first saw it, it looked like a gap. But now I don't think so. Is there?
From where?
From
This
the high of the first green candle and the low of the second green candle.
there's a this
Oh,
this gap right
oh,
here.
there's a
Yeah.
gap. Yeah. I would say that if it doesn't break, if it breaks the low of the green candle, that it would come down and fulfill that gap.
Hmm.
And it could fulfill that gap and make another run up to break that purple trend line and blue
Is this the purple
blue
one?
level. Yeah, that's the trend line, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's purple. Let me change it.
Change it to yellow or something, or orange. There you go. That yellow dotted trend line. So, so the green candle is key. So the blue level is key. So if you open there and then it goes up and spikes out that blue level on a daily or a 4 hour, then it's going up, in my mind, it's going up to the green dashed line, trend line.
Hmm. Yeah.
If it closes below the green line, green candle, the higher one, yeah, the high one, where Friday's close, green candle, yeah, that one there. So if you mark off the close or the low of that candle, sorry, the open, not the close, the open, yeah. And does it have a low?
Just right here, like super
Right. So either one of
close.
those. So if the price breaks that and closes, now I'm going down.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm being very cautious because I'm only going down because I think it's going to close that little gap there and test.
Hmm.
So you've got one, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a possibility of a retracement to make a little swing, and it could fulfill to the yellow line, and there's a swing, and then it could go back up to break that dotted trend line, break that blue level, and then start pushing up to the green dotted trend line. There you go. That's my 10 cents. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, so I
And Nvidia just dumped 7.1 million on shares of some AI bio thingy majig. I don't know what it is, but they just purchased something. So I don't know who it is, but should look at that.
so would you agree that this could be the bottom?
Could be,
Yeah,
could be. You'll find out.
we'll find
You'll
out.
find out soon enough. You find out soon enough to see what it does. If it closes below that green candle and then starts going down. If it holds, it holds. If it doesn't hold, then it's not the bottom.
All right, we'll see.
I still believe Nvidia is going to your blue line down there, your
This
bottom
one,
blue line, right there. Yeah, I still think it's going there. Yeah, yeah, I do.
yeah, it was a key support for some time here.
Yeah.
Beginning of next year, actually.
Go to the monthly. Okay, so you see keep going left of where it started. See that nice little wave coming, nice, and then boom, it shoots up, right?
Yeah.
Shoots up, right? So that's overboard. That's overboard. It needs to come down, and I like the blue level. That level first, I believe is coming down to there. And if it closes below that close and open of those green candles, it's going lower. And it'll go right the way down to the dip before, yeah, that dip right there, that high, the high of that dip, there. So it could come all the way back to there or to that low. Now,
Interesting.
that's not gonna happen in a week. That's not gonna happen in a month. It's gonna happen over time. But I do believe that we're going to get another surge downwards, and I think it's going to hit that blue line.
Yeah, I think this
And
blue line is key.
yeah, and then you're going to get some sideways movement, and then you're going to get some up and down, up and down. You're kind of not going to do anything. It's going to go sideways. It goes up, it comes down, it goes up, comes down. So then you can start range trading. But eventually, I believe that it could break down to the downside further to hit that level that I believe is going to hit. And we don't know what's going to be in 12 months. What's going to happen? Is the company solid? What happens? We don't know.
What is your prediction? If you would say.
I thought I gave it.
Okay, so you're saying it's gonna come down all the way to those levels, the monthly.
Yeah. But as I said, not next week, right? Right. My first prediction is it's coming to the blue line.
Yes.
There you go, and we'll leave it at that for now.
Okay.
Right? But my overall, I believe, is coming to where your face guy is. Where that is, yeah, I believe it's coming there.
Yeah.
I do. But maybe in a year, I don't know.
I don't know. I believe Nvda is very powerful. Like fundamentally, the company.
Okay, I'm going to give a prediction
Yeah.
for Nvidia. I'm going to put it out there. It will not break the high this year.
It will
The
not.
highest high no, it won't go there.
I'm
It
gonna write
will
it down.
not. It will not break the highest high that you have, which I don't know what it is. What is it? What is that high?
154.
Not breaking that. It's not breaking that high this year.
All right.
There's a good prediction for you.
Ashley's prediction. My prediction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be very bullish.
Yeah, you can be bullish.
My prediction is Isaac's prediction. 200. And I'm gonna
Oh,
put it,
you think? Oh, really? Oh, wow.
yeah, I'm gonna put it here.
You're really in love with Nvidia, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I am waiting to see how it opens on Monday and how it reacts on Monday to see if it's
Yeah, I want to see too because that purchase they just made, I want to see what it does. And I have no idea what it is. If they're just helping another company or they're purchasing a company or I don't know. I have no idea. But
yeah.
I think just because of the market, what it is, what we're in, what's going on, I'm losing a whole thing of everything. That I don't believe that high will be broken this year.
All right.
Notice I said this year. I didn't say it won't be broken ever, but I don't think it will be this year.
Okay. Sounds good. Nice predictions. You want to
Yeah.
look at the S&P or the US dollar? What do you want to look?
Well, we're at 10:36. I don't mind, as you know, to keep going. I don't mind doing this for 4 hours, but that's just me. But you can either call it, we'll do it again, or I can do it. Tell me what you want.
How about we just give a quick look at the S&P and
S&P.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
You know, these are the levels we had the last time right here. Um, I think we were expecting this to be a candle, this square right here, to be a candle for the week, but it didn't quite went the way it went. Still very
Oh yeah,
bearish.
because I think I was expecting it to complete the 50% retracement of that red candle, right? And it didn't do it.
Yeah, look, this was the prediction from last podcast. We were
Yeah.
expecting, yeah, you were expecting to retrace to the 50% of this red candle. It didn't do it.
Yeah.
Actually, it went very low.
So actually, they opened lower. It didn't even open. So there's
Yeah,
a gap there, right? Yeah, there's a big gap there. So it had dropped right the way down. Wow, look at that.
yeah,
Right to that other level too. Whew. Wow. Very
yeah. We went to the
bearish.
50% of this ones.
Yeah. So so look at the retracement back though. That's quite the retracement back, right? So what time frame are you on here?
Week.
Oh, okay.
Gonna
Yeah.
go daily.
Oh, look
So
at that.
yeah,
I think that blue uptrend line is the key here.
it broke it.
Yeah.
It seems a bit scary, but I don't know. What do you think? Is it gonna back go back to the blue trend line?
Well, it's pretty much at the blue trend line, isn't it? It's
Mm,
pretty much there. It's close, right? The key is it going to break it, or is it going to hold? If it holds, you're coming down further to the bottom yellow line. I still think this has. Okay, so you're on the monthly, right?
this is daily.
Okay, so go to the lowest low of the day and draw a Fibonacci from that low to the very, very high and mark off its 50%.
From this low,
No,
from the
from the
very
very low, very, very low. This whole swing. Okay, right there, right there.
here,
You're there now. No, lower,
lower,
lower, lower. There, right there. So draw a Fibonacci from there to the high, and let's mark off its 50%.
50% is here.
There you go. That's where it's going. Boom, right there. Right now, take off the Fibonacci. So where is there a low there? Is there a low close to there? That
Uh,
50%? Is there a
well,
cluster? Something?
there's a bit of a chop
There you
here.
go. Right. So those lows there on that chop there, draw a line there too. Right. And now we could mark off the 382% too.
With the Fibonacci again.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the 382. Where's the 382? Here's the 382. Here's the 382. Yeah. This is the 382. Yeah,
Okay.
there are more levels here on the 382.
So there's a cluster of lows right there as well, right? So that's quite a gap right there,
Yeah.
right? But there's a more probability that it hits the 382 than bounces up. If you break, but it's good because if you break where your arrow is now, those lows, that low cluster of your second arrow there, right? If you draw a red line along there, horizontal red line, or orange or something that shows bright, right? I can't, yeah. So that to me is an important level. If that breaks, if you hit the 382, breaks the 382, but breaks that low cluster,
Mm-hmm.
there your arrow is now. That cluster right there. Yeah, there.
So you say it could come down to here if it breaks this one?
Yeah, if it breaks the other low area, where's the 382? Where's the 382?
The 382 is this one, the second arrow right here.
Right there with that low there,
Yeah.
right? So if it hits that but break closes under it, right? It'll go down to the next level I just said,
So,
which is
what's your prediction? Are you bearish on this one?
I'm still bearish, yeah, until
Yeah.
otherwise
Um,
it shows me otherwise, and if it shows me otherwise, which means it has to be above that top blue level,
mm-hmm.
yeah, up, way up, way up, way up, that one right there. I'm only thinking about bullishness if it's closed above there and tested and stayed there. But
Mm-hmm.
again, I have the same premise that I don't think it's going to take out its high.
From this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I think we're in a bearish turn. We're in a bearish sideways.
those are very what do you say?
Bold.
Yeah, bold statement. Yeah,
Bold statements.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
But
it's just what I feel. It's just how based on the condition of the markets, what's going on, based on my experience, based on what I think. I'm just believe that I don't think it's going to break out higher than there this year. And you know what? I could be wrong, and I'll be fine with it. I don't have a problem with being wrong.
so
Doesn't mean to say people can't make money. Doesn't mean that people can't buy. Right? You do realize that when you go to a lower level, it's an opportunity to buy up to a previous high level.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So, I mean, don't everybody think that, we're not buying the S&P. I think it's a very definitive statement of it's not taking out the highest high this year.
Mm-hmm. All right.
On that note, I think we should say adios, everybody.
Adios. Let me
Yeah.
wait. I cannot find the bear here. Oh, where is it?
Oh, you want to put a bear?
Yeah, I'll put a dog.
A dog. That's a donkey, isn't it? Oh, a dog. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
A dog.
so dog
You
means
guys and your bloody emojis. Jesus.
yeah,
No.
it makes the chart looks nicer.
Okay, if you say so. I look at that chart and I see a lot of what the hell. I know, old guy. I know.
All right.
All right. Well, this has been a slice. Thanks very much, everybody. Hope you all do well this week. Just remember, trade with caution. All right, don't overdo it. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week, actually.
Yeah, send some questions.
Yeah. All right.
Take care, everybody.